Hi guys, I'm here down in historic Yorktown, which is a place that some of the Pilgrim settlers first came when they came to America. Take a look. You can see statues here right behind me, and further on over here you'll see places like the Fright Shed. Now the Fright Shed is a place in downtown where you can come with friends and family, take a walk. There are all kinds of different places here, like the Water Grill, which is right here, Water Street Grill. It's a great restaurant that you can come in, and if you look behind, there's a bridge up here. You can see where cars will go and keep their boats. It's pretty gorgeous. Downtown is a place that you can come with friends, family, and it's dog friendly. Stay tuned and I'll show you more of historic Yorktown. This is the bridge I was telling you about earlier. This is one that you can go across different parts of town here in Yorktown and Williamsburg, which is connected. You can bring sailboats out and take it onto the water, although it's a bit of a chilly day here in winter, so a summertime activity. However, you can also take walks just along the view here, which is right by the water. Yorktown Beach, you can see the bridge over here where cars will go, as I was telling you. You can also take your boats out. We've seen a little bit of it before, but it is a beach, so there is sand here, so you can come with family. During the wintertime, probably not so much, maybe for a picnic and some hot chocolate. But if you look out here, you can see people are out with their families. There is some grass that people can bring their dogs into, and there are birds perched on each of the posts out that way. It's definitely a place that you can come during the winter time, and you might even see some pilgrims reenacting the scenes. In Yorktown, you got some historic war history here. In 1781, Yorktown was under siege from the French armies, and they would come to places and hide in caves and wherever they could to escape enemy fire. Take a look, come with me. Right over here in bunkers under the hill, people would hide so obviously they wouldn't get shot. But this is a piece of history that you can find here in Yorktown. We'll take a look. A little dark if you can see it. Can't really see it too well. However, you can take a look at this area and have an idea of what it looked like back then when you would hide in a cave during the war time. Now, if you want to come here in Yorktown, it's best to take field trips or family members when it is quiet in the off season here in winter. And it is something that you can do with family to learn more about the history of a place that fought many wars and saw a lot of violence, actually. Hey guys, today we're at Fort Monroe, which used to be surrounded when the Confederacy took hold in Virginia. It remained one of the Union strongholds, which is kind of amazing considering Virginia was part of the Confederacy, considering how strong, how many ties that it had. This area held through. So what you can see is this is Fort Monroe. This is the entirety of it that you can see around us. Here inside, you can see some recreations of colonists, what they look like, what their weapons were like. And here, when you come to visit, it has things like brown pelicans. It has a beach to come visit. It's an area that you can bring friends and family, and later we'll take you a little further inside to take a look at what the rest looks like. So what you see right here is a type of artillery and guns and gunpowder and things that they would have used while the Confederacy was fighting the war. So they try and reenact it pretty well, with down to clothing and what the cannons would have looked like shooting out this window. Now, that's a huge cannon. Can you imagine transporting something like that during the war? And now it's preserved here. Obviously, they've done some retouch-up work on the clothes to keep everything looking the way it was, but this tells you exactly that this was a Seacoast gun, a 32-pounder, which sounds like a lot, you know? But we'll take you further inside Fort Monroe to see what other things this fort has. So fun fact, did you know that Edgar Allan Poe actually served in the military? They have built a little thing here commemorating his writing, and then there's placards here that you can read about his military service here. Also at Fort Monroe, there were a few women that actually were a part of it. One of them was Robert E. Lee's wife, Mary. Now here they've labeled it as domestic divas. However, these women did the laundry, stayed at home, and actually lived in Fort Monroe amongst many, many men. So you can imagine what life would have been like for them. We also have Black Hawk. So this fort really had a melee of people that came through and passed through for different historical reasons, militaristic reasons, or to stay in with their family life. It also has stuff like these huge restored cannons, as well as fragments of teacups and things that were found here. Many of you know Jefferson Davis as a president, but you know that he was confined right here at Fort Monroe behind this actual door. Here is the lock and key. The flag that you see in this room is the actual flag that hung here while Jefferson was imprisoned in his room. If you take a look here, you can read some of the sign that says so, and this is a little bit of what his room looked like while he was imprisoned. So Fort Monroe was declared a national monument by President Obama, and a lot of people say here that it marks both the beginning and the end of slavery, which is kind of huge if you think about that. It's a historic place that people can come and read about and learn. and it's been recognized on a national and worldwide scale. So when you come here, you'll see the national park symbol. Right now we're here in Colonial Williamsburg, where there are a lot of reenactments, a lot of activities that you can do with families. Easily walkable, lots of shops. It's perfect for hot chocolate or apple cider on a cold day. You can go to a store called Aromas, a restaurant. It's perfect. Or you can come ice skating at the Liberty Ice Pavilion right here behind me that you see. And if you get too cold, you can always come here to our left-hand side where they've got some fire pits that are perfect to warm up after a freezing cold night, and especially during this cold winter. I almost said warm, it's wishful thinking. But yes, come here with your family, check out the ice rink. It's in Market Square, which is the middle of town. Come check it out. So here in Colonial Williamsburg, you can get a ride on a horse-drawn carriage from people in reenactment costumes, which obviously is a fan favorite. As you hear a little bit of history going down the main thoroughfare. Take a look. And then you have different venues that you can walk, and they're available for rent, as you see here, a little bit ahead, and you can come pet the horses, which is obviously something everyone likes to do. We've got some horses here in Colonial Williamsburg. I was telling you a little bit earlier about how you can take some rides. They're pretty sweet, they're nice animals, obviously gentle, and it's a great place to bring your kids because you have two great animals that you can come pet and play with, and they're super friendly. Highly recommend this if you're going to take a ride. The drivers will come, we've got a carriage up ahead, and they'll go for a ride for you. Costs range in prices, so you might want to check before you book, but I'll send you the link. Guys, we're here with Marin. Marin's going to explain to us, what is the building that we see over here? Let's take a look. Marin, can you tell us what it is?
So this is our magazine. It is where we store our arms and ammunition, and right now it is staffed by our military interpreters. They are telling you about any military information that you might want to know in the 18th century. And in 1775, this is where the gunpowder plot happened. So this is where Lord Dunmore took the gunpowder and stowed it on the ships in the harbor and actually caused an uprising of the colonists in the town.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing with us.
You're very welcome.
Here we are at the Capitol building at Williamsburg. Now, it's a famous site for so many different reasons. Patrick Henry denounced the Stamp Act right here, and also George Mason was able to have his Declaration of Rights as well. It's something where this building housed Virginia's government, colonial government, for the past 75 years, which is pretty amazing. Take a look at this building here and really take in that it's a place with a lot of history. History has many lessons for us, and one of those is how to run government here. That's something you learn when you come visit here, is how do governments run, how do they function, and there's nothing better, nowhere better to see it than the Capitol building.